Hey guys, John V here from Phone Arena. You're watching our in-depth video review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus. It's the successor to the original Galaxy Tab from last year. Luckily, this time around, it features honeycomb and it's priced modestly at $400. In terms of design, it follows in the same path as the Galaxy Tab 10.1 and 8.9. You could definitely tell the resemblance with it. It's not as thin as those devices, but still fairly streamlined. Easy to hold with one hand, a little bit on the wide side, but nevertheless, we do like the choice of materials. It's plastic all around, which does give it a good lightweight feel, but it's sturdy feel nonetheless, and also it helps it to keep clean looking at all times. So the tablet utilizes a 7-inch PLS display, 1024 by 600 pixel resolution, which is actually the norm for most 7-inch displays out there on the market. It's good enough to make out fine details, very legible and easy to read. On top of that, we do like the natural looking colors that it produces, very vivid, not quite saturated compared to Super AMOLED displays, but nevertheless, we definitely like the realistic colors that it produces. On top of that, viewing angles are okay, so it's definitely usable, but in outdoor conditions, we still have a tendency to shield it away from the sun. You can clearly tell that the Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus emulates the look of a smartphone just because it has a speaker right up top here built into the bezel, as well as a front-facing camera. On the right edge of the tablet, we find a dedicated power button and volume rocker. They're very prominent and have a good solid tactile feel when you press them down. And on top of that, you also have an infrared blaster, which combines with the Peel application on board with it. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, left edge, you have just the micro SD card slot there. If you have the 3G version of the tablet, you'll also find a SIM card slot on this side as well. And finally, on the bottom edge, you have the left and right speakers, the proprietary USB connection port for data and charging connectivity, and it looks like another microphone as well. And of course, in the rear, it features a 3.2 megapixel camera, pretty much the same thing you find on the Galaxy Tab 10.1, 8.9 before it, and also an LED flash. To compete with some of the contemporary honeycomb tablets out there in the market, the Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus is actually powered by a dual-core 1.2 GHz Exynos processor, the same exact one you find being used on most of Samsung's Galaxy S2 handsets, and it does offer a really great experience. It's pretty fast for the most part, though a little bit more choppiness when you use a live wallpaper, but for the most part, it is more than sufficient for our needs. For basic tasks, it executes with no problems, and overall, definitely peppy. Just like its siblings beforehand, the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus features the TouchWiz UX experience running on top of Android 3.2 Honeycomb. There's a lot of personalization, just like any other Honeycomb device out there, with the live panels here. It displays a lot of useful stuff directly from the home screen, whether it be your emails, your messages, the clock, weather, news information, social networking aspects, the calendar. Again, just a lot of stuff you have access to. And on top of that, if you press the bottom here, you gain access to the bar down here, which provides you some of the core applications you could quickly access at any time, and overlays on top of whatever you're doing, which is great when you think about the multitasking aspects about it. One of the nice things offered with the Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus is the Peel Smart Remote application. It integrates with the IR blaster built into the tablet, so you can actually control your television or your DVR box or your home theater system directly on the tablet, which is nice. On top of that, we definitely like the interface too, just because it breaks it down to categories, the different times that are playing, the shows, channels, a lot of useful information, and of course you can also gain access to the controls here on the right hand side, so you could fast forward, reverse, you could record a show, do whatever you want, and there's just a lot of stuff that you could do with it. Being a 7-inch tablet and all, using the keyboard can be rather of a challenge just because of the cramped nature, but its responsiveness definitely helps. The portrait options are a lot better just because our thumbs are better able to encompass the entire layout. And you have 3 different options. You have the Samsung keypad, you have swipe, and even the stock Android Honeycomb one. Web browsing is not a problem at all with the tablet. It just offers a resounding experience. Not only does it exhibit a lot of fluid controls as far as pinch gestures and kinetic scrolling, it handles Flash content very well and it doesn't stutter at all. When it comes to listening to music, you have 2 options to go with. You could use the stock Honeycomb one, which actually the preferred one that we like just because of the 3D carousel it has, or the Samsung TouchWiz one, which is pretty conventional. Displays the usual things like the album cover, track information. The other nice things, of course, with the multitasking aspect, you gain access to the music player at any time. And as far as the audio quality, it's definitely powerful, strong, and doesn't sound distorted. High definition video playback's not a problem at all with the tablet. The one we have here is encoded in H.264, 1920 by 1080 resolution, so it's 1080p. You can tell it's moving at a great frame rate, smooth, no choppiness or lag, lots of detail, rich colors, so it does offer a resounding experience. Well, there's no improvement found with the photo taking capabilities with the tablet just because it shares the same 3.2 megapixel camera found in use with prior tablets like the Galaxy Tab 10.1 and 8.9. So overall, they're nothing spectacular. They're good enough for 4x6 printouts. It does a great job with macro shots, but for outdoor shots, details tend to be rather slim, indistinct, kind of faint, and cast this purplish haze over the shot. Indoors under low lighting, colors definitely look more washed out. There's a lot of graininess and digital noise that softens overall appearance. The LED flash does a good job up to 3 feet away. Anything more than that, it casts the same bluish tint to the overall shots. Likewise, the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus suffers from the same problems with still images with its 720p videos. We do like the fact that it shoots at 29 frames per second, so it's nice and smooth, and audio recording is crystal clear, but as far as details go, it's pretty much out the door, very faint in that area. On top of that, color production, it could be washed out at times, and in low lighting conditions, there's just a lot of digital noise. One of the satisfying things about the Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus is that it exhibits a good amount of battery life on a full charge with its 4,000 milliamp hour battery. After using it extensively, we're able to get close to a day and a half of usage on a single charge, so it's more than enough for power and heavy users. You'll easily get by without having to charge it. On the surface, there really isn't a whole lot new to be found with the Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus, just because we've seen it already on the Galaxy Tab 8.9 and 10.1 before it. We do like the fact that it sports some upgraded hardware under the hood over its predecessor, and the fact that it actually features an IR blaster to give you some light home theater functionality out of the box. Again, that's something that we haven't seen yet out of the Galaxy Tab family, but the biggest thing is, of course, pricing. Now, this guy's going to cost you $400, and when you compare that to some of the other Honeycomb tablets, it's definitely pricey, especially when you think about that the Asus ePad Transformer is the same price. You get a larger display, 10.1 inches versus 7.0. So it's a matter of just overall size. If you're willing to go with a 7-inch model that excels in a variety of areas, then you want to probably think about this guy. A reasonable offering, but if you don't have the money, you might want to think about other solutions out there. So if you'd like to learn more about the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V. Thanks for watching, guys.